I wanted to start out with what's really at the top of the news right now, which is this Ryanair flight. Ryanair is, as I recall, an Irish airline, and it was flying from Greece to Lithuania. Now, Greece, of course, is part of the European Union and the Eurozone. Lithuania, I don't know. I've been there. I've been to Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, the three countries right in a row there on your way up to Finland, and just north of Poland. In fact, we took a train from Poland through them. And I believe Lithuania may be part of the European Union, but not part of the economic zone, but not sure. In any case, neither one of them are although Lithuania was a former Soviet state, neither one of them are in the, shall we say, Russian sphere of influence. And whereas Belarus is. Belarus and Russia are allies. In fact, Russia is basically the president of Belarus, basically his only ally. Lushenko, I believe is, if I'm, let me catch the article here. So the extraordinary thing here is that this plane was flying from Greece to Lithuania. It's over Belarusian airspace. There is a reporter on board who is a citizen of Belarus and his girlfriend. And he was the one who kind of spearheaded the reporting on how corrupt the Lushenko government was. Alexander Lukashenko, excuse me. The president. The reporter's name is Roman Protasevich. Yeah, I'm probably mispronouncing it, but it looks like Protasevich. And so they scrambled a jet just as they were about to leave Belarus airspace. Scrambled a jet, intercepted this commercial jetliner, forced it to land in Minsk, the capital city of Belarus. Said there was a bomb on board. They had to search the plane. They searched the plane. All they discovered was this reporter and his girlfriend, who they kept. And then they let the plane leave after 7 hours. Now, this is creating some problems, shall we say. First of all, NATO and the European Union are, shall we say, quite upset about this. The Minister of the Honorable Grant Shapps, Member of Parliament, who I believe oversees the air, whatever you would call it, their equivalent of the FAA in the United Kingdom, says, following the forced diversion of a Ryanair aircraft to Minsk yesterday, I've instructed the UK CAA, that would, I'm assuming this is their equivalent of the FAA, to request airlines avoid Belarusian airspace in order to keep passengers safe. I have also suspended Belavia's operating permit. Now, that would be the airline that operates out of Belarus. In other words, you can no longer fly into the United Kingdom. Now, I don't know if they have regular flights into the United Kingdom or not. I don't know if this injures them at all. But there's a couple of points here that I think are really, really worth noting. The first is that this is establishing an extraordinarily bad precedent. There are a lot of airlines, a lot of jets from a lot of countries that fly over a lot of other countries that have serious problems with their own members of the press and things like that. There are a lot of places you can't get to without flying over parts of China or Russia or countries that are not even anywhere near those as large as those two, that have a history of trying to arrest journalists, where they could conceivably claw an airplane out of the sky to selectively arrest somebody aboard it. And if you were to extend this to say, well, it doesn't just apply to the air, it applies to the sea, then China could claim the right to seize any ship, or for that matter, any airplane crossing the South China Sea, which could do some serious damage, for example, to Taiwan or Japan. Or South Korea, actually, more to the point. So I think there's this sense that we can't allow this to stand. On the other hand, during the so-called war on terror, the U.S., and this, to the one extent to which, from our previous hour, somebody might arguably say 9/11 did more damage to us than 1/6, is that hopefully we will recover. I don't think we'll know the answer to the question until 2025. Excuse me, until January 2025. But if we can recover from January 6th, if we can hold on to our democracy, then one of the ways that 9/11 did so much damage to us, and of course it wasn't bin Laden who did this, it was Bush and Cheney and the neoconservatives, the whole Project for a New American Century crowd, is that they did this illegal, they would reach into third countries, illegally capture people, take them to fourth countries, to some distant country, torture them, in some cases kill them, and then just wash their hands of it. Remember the black sites? Remember the U.S. torture? Well, Belarus has not, come out and held a press conference about this, but the people who are taking their side in this, which is, principally media out of Russia, but also out of Belarus, are saying, hey, we didn't do anything different than the Americans did. Now, there's another piece to this that I think is worth pointing out, and tip of the hat to my friend Jim Turr, who pointed this out to me, the musician, Blue Canyon Music. He sent me a note. He said, in case you missed it, NATO and the European Union are expected to seek meaningful punishments to the Belarus regime, and this is a clip from a newspaper article, but nothing that would cause undue pain to the people. Now, Belarus is a European country. It's an pretty much all white country. So we're going to do sanctions, but we're not going to hurt the people. But when we do sanctions in Cuba, we want to squeeze the people as hard as we can. When we do sanctions in Iraq, we had 500,000 children die just during the tail end of the first Bush administration and the Clinton administration because of our sanctions, that 10-year period. We imposed sanctions on Venezuela that turned that country upside down. We imposed sanctions on Iran that have impaired their ability to respond to the pandemic and caused, thousands, probably tens of thousands of deaths. But when it comes to white Europeans, these are not people of color in Belarus. We're going to make sure that our sanctions don't cause undue stress on the people. We're just going to go after the oligarchs. Just kind of let that sink in. So anyhow, I think there's some fairly high stakes here. And if I'm missing something, or if you think that my analysis is wrong, please let me know. Or if you want to add to that analysis, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because it seems to me that this is a huge deal. If Belarus gets away with this, and even worse than that, if this starts happening a lot, I mean, this is the kind of thing that could eventually. I doubt that this incident is going to be it, because they grabbed a Belarusian citizen. But this is the kind of thing that could become an Archduke Ferdinand moment.